Whoop-de bloody do, fellow naughty steppers. It's time for another review, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Kompany EP released on Never Say Die Records, Revolt. Now this is an artist who, for me, has been making his way slowly through the upper echelons of the dubstep sphere, producing 2 EPs for Firepower Records and now moving on to Never Say Die. Someone who I never felt quite hit the mark, but whose sound I definitely warmed to the more and more I listened to it. So I went into this EP quite hopeful, knowing that his style was one that I could appreciate over time and with the right amount of attention. And this latest collection of songs very much readdresses that very large and picturesque sound that I think Kompany has become renowned for. A sound that very much ran through his 2 Firepower EPs, full of imagery and purpose, and always with something very menacing looming in the distance. And this EP very much expands on the industrial aspect of that particular sound, tapping into the explosive and cacophonous style of dubstep that was popularised by the likes of Woolly and Wild Boys in 2017. The grating sounds that make up the drop of Sucker, or the cogwheel-esque effects of Blade, and the winding sounds of Fuckstorm, but to name a few. And it is littered with a wide array of clanging bell sounds that really creates a nice theme for this EP from start to finish. And this is before I even mention the vocal samples, of which there are many fantastic ones in this EP. The servo reference, the vocal snippets in between the drops in Blade, and last but certainly not least, Into the Fuckstorm. Yeah, that's it, mate. Into the fuckstorm you go. No qualms, no discussion, just get straight into that fuckstorm. Go on. I just think that overall the vocal samples used by Kompany throughout very much complement the instrumentals that lie underneath them in terms of aggression. Moreover, I feel like there is a really nice general tightness to these tracks in terms of the interaction between all the different sounds that Kompany uses, lending it that extra bit of snappiness and creating a very refined product in the process. To explain this further, I think what Kompany does very well here is rein in the potential fuzziness of bringing such big sounds together, those sounds that lay over the percussion, which is extremely sharp, making sure that there isn't too much of a conflict between all of these sounds. It's just all terrifically precise and exact. But having said all of this, I would definitely add that all of these songs in themselves have quite stop-start journeys, hinting at true naughtiness but continually referring to plainer ideas. But maybe this is just Kompany's style. I mean, this thing is 6 tracks long, he's hardly going to want it to sound samey, he wants this to be his selling point. He is creating a style and a technique that really works in terms of allowing the listener to identify the type of producer that he is. He has a formula that he is adopting for his music and his creation, and he is just hoping that in the process the listener will buy into that. And for me personally, understanding where he is coming from, having produced for Firepower Records and now for Never Say Die, there is absolutely no question of whether I am buying into it or not. The structure and the concepts and the style and the sounds remain similar, but it's just been magnified by about 10 times. Once again with Kompany, whilst the ideas aren't entirely special, it's the delivery and the sheer concoction of sounds that really gets you. And it's not as if there isn't a truly concentrated attention to detail here as well. As aforementioned, with the exactness and the sharpness that I was talking about, it's about the small minutiae that make up these really grand compositions. However, I cannot proceed with my analysis of this EP without discussing the Far Too Loud collaboration, which is very far removed from everything that precedes it and everything that follows it. And I understand that Far Too Loud has taken a new direction with his music, but it's just so far removed from the complextro style of production that made him one of my favourite artists of all time. But with this collaboration Fuckstorm, I mean the squelchy drops, the horn-infused build-up and midsection, the chime-esque synths. I mean, it just sounds like a snail song. But even though I didn't like this song as much as the other 5, it certainly didn't change my impression of the EP as a whole. Because all in all, even though nothing smacks me here as outstanding in terms of ideas, it's got some majorly clean production and some parts that are extremely gripping, enthralling almost. And I feel like you'd be seriously hard pressed to find another artist who can blend trap and dubstep styles so efficiently and seamlessly. And more than that, it accesses a multitude of genres whilst possessing a continuity that most producers could only dream of. And when I discuss that trap and dubstep blend, I'm not talking about the light, feathery, intricate style of production that you would associate with someone like Eliminate or SFAM, but a more layered and thicker sound that Kompany provides here throughout. So if you did like this EP, I would definitely recommend checking out some other artists who access this trap and dubstep crossover, like Tascione or Dubloads or Woolly, and even Graphite and E-Craze at some points. I mean, there is a fair bit of variation there, but such is the wealth of styles covered in this EP. And in terms of a favourite track from Revolt, I genuinely don't think I could pick one. I mean, they almost all have their special moments, and I don't feel like there is one that stands out above the rest. And overall, I'd say that this is an EP that I will listen to more and more as 2018 progresses. And I'm sure it'll grow on me more and more as I listen to it again and again, becoming aware even more so of the specific idiosyncrasies and individualities within each track. Even from my first listen of this EP through to the second and the third, I can feel myself enjoying it more and more, and I can see this also happening increasingly in the future. Never Say Die very much conquered 2017 EP wise, and they have started this year off with an absolute bang. And my thoughts on another EP draw to a close. Thank you very much once again, guys, for listening, watching, whatever you want to call it. Like this video, share it about, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment underneath with your thoughts on this EP. What did you guys make of it? And once again, be sure to like and follow Nawtystep across all social media too. All of which is linked in the description box below. If it's naughty, then you know, peeps. So keep it naughty and stay safe as always. See you in the next one. Peace. Oh, and also, just before I go, I've been getting some feedback with these videos regarding the sound. Apparently it's only coming out of the left speaker. So if anyone has any advice on that, how it can be improved, because I'm not really sure. I'm using a Canon SL2 or 200D and just a normal microphone, and I'm not sure why it's only coming out of one side, but if anyone has any advice on that, please let me know. Love you guys. Mwah.